And one thing became another. Hey y'all, APG Jamie here. And I'm happy that you're here too. So today brings us hashtag 4th Art Saturday. It's an open collaboration, and we play it on the 4th Saturday of the month. This month, our inspirational prompt was loose ends plus the color white. So coming up for August the 24th, it will be flip it plus the color brown. So started off with some dot matrix cards. I didn't measure them. I don't know what the measurement is. I found them at a secondhand experienced antique junk store a while back. And I wanted to use these bubble printed papers. But then I also thought, because it's copyright, so I wanted to reinforce it just a bit. And that's when I brought out the dot matrix. It's an old-fashioned type of printer. You would have to put your paper or card or whatever on these feeder reels that were on the side, and it would literally pull it through their own gears and junk, and they were very loud. Anyway. And I thought, well, let's get some punches and we'll punch some little interesting borders on here. So that's what we're doing. Now, about this open collaboration, it just basically means you can play when you want to. And let's see. Here it is. What you want to do is share your video or pictures as inspired by the inspirational prompt. You want to use the hashtag in your title and description. Please invite your viewers, friends, subscribers, followers to play. Join when you can. Interpret the prompts as you like, but please keep it family friendly. Let's have no sales pitches. You may do process videos or show and tell, with or without talking. With or without music, just kind of what makes you happy there. If you want me to see it, I suggest you tag me one way or another. If you are just sharing pictures on Instagram, please tag me as @artistpoetgirl. Okay. And here on YouTube, it's @APG Jamie, no spaces, of course. Well, I don't know if, of course, anyway. That's like saying obviously, right? Not everything's obvious. You want to use the hashtag 4th Art Saturday, hashtag open collab. And this should pretty much enable me into seeing your posting. If not, go ahead and message, email, whatever, it's in the description below. And if you post videos, just note that my videos are scheduled for 9 a.m. Central Time, and that is on the 4th Saturday of the month for this open collaboration. So had intentions of just making basically strip-like clusters, a strip of a cluster kind of thing. I could say that a different way, but why bother? I think you get the gist. And when I was getting my little bubble printed paper out there, I thought, you know what? If I fold this over, it'll make a pocket. And if I glue it just right, it could be a pocket on both sides. So these things in the end could be paper clipped to a page. They can be slipped into a pocket, or they can be actually glued to a page in your junk journal, if you should happen to do that kind of thing. So I decided to do some inking, as you can see, obviously, if you're watching anyway. So I got out those sweet little distress squares Thanks again, my secret internet admirer. And I used a little lost shadow because I wanted to just, darken that one up just a little bit. And then I got out my newest favorite, scorched ember. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so we're rubbing that around. We wrinkled up our little paper and rubbing that around and using a little scrap there. And I thought I would make a few, but in the end I only made 2. So a few turned into 2. Anyways, going to do that. And this is slightly, ever so slightly sped up. Okay, not much, just a wee bit. So there we are, making a pocket on one side. Now you do want to, if you're going to do this kind of thing, regardless of what you're doing, you want to kind of give just like a 16th or a 1/24th or whatever crazy weird measurement you want to use gap between your actual fold and the edge of the paper you're folding it around. This helps ease it in and hopefully doesn't put it in too much of a bind. Okay. So I have fabric strips, which you may have seen in the promo pic or not. And by pic, I mean picture, photograph, photo, whatever you want to call it. And so I'm just fiddling around with that. And then, because I wasn't intending necessarily, I didn't begin thinking about doing pockets. Later on, I'll grab some old ephemeras from Seven Gypsies, y'all. It's like from forever ago. And I thought, well, let's use some of this lovely stuff. Mostly because I'm tired of looking at it. Got it because I loved it, and now I'm tired of looking at it. Anyway, go figure collections. That's just how they go sometimes. So we're just going to tear that down just a little bit. Layering it up. Decide I don't like that one in there. It's too much of the same size as our little leftover scrappy thing there. So, and the dot matrix card is an actual, it's cardstock basically. I don't know what they use these for. It's almost the size of a data punch card, almost, but it's not a data punch card, y'all. Okay. I can't imagine what anybody was using them for. It's an Avery product. I do have a list of ingredients in the description box below. Can you still get it? I have no idea if you can get any dot matrix printer stuff anymore unless you just happen across it in a secondhand experience / antique junk store, okay, or at your grandma's house. Well, maybe not all of our grandma's house, but at some of us grandma's houses. I had a dot matrix printer, y'all. It was so funny. Anyway, that's olden days. That's when home computers didn't even have a hard drive. They had floppies, 4.5 inch, 4.25 floppies. Anyway, back in the day, in the 1900s. So I've also pulled out some Dollar Tree stickers. Those are Bo Bunny Brads. Not stickers. There's some more Dollar Tree stickers. The dragonflies are from Dollar Tree. I just took them out of the package, and I buy more than one package if I really like them. So there's 3 packages in there because you only get one sheet. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Disclaimer, la, la, la. Back when Dollar Tree was probably $1 too, by the way. Just saying. That's what you get when you collect. A bunch of piles of treasure. So, I'm thinking about how am I going to adhere these together, stick them together so that they still have loose ends. And might I just go ahead and add that the dot matrix paper is white. And the string I'm using is a cotton string, and it is white-ish, more white than the other one that I showed you. One was cream colored, off-white, ivory even, and this one was whiter. More white. Anyway, cotton string. Got it from, it said it was from a hardware, or it was considered hardware, like, I don't know, flying kites. It was hardware section of whatever store I got it from. I don't even know where I got it from, y'all. It could have been picked up at a secondhand store too, you know, because that's my jam. So now we're poking a hole with just a little pokey tool. And I'm sticking the brad through there, which it's not that easy to do because when you, the brads are open on the packaging, so you have to close them to pull the brad out of the packaging. So now your brad has been open, so it's all kind of splayed out almost already, and it's kind of hard to get it wiggled back into a little hole. Just saying. So we get it done. Now I'm going to put the string in the hole of the Dot Matrix card scrap. I know, say that. It's hard to even think about that. And I'm like, well, I don't want it to look that way. So I pull it back out, and I'm going to insert the loop from the back side and pull the loose ends, loose ends, through the loop. And there we have it. Okay, now we got more loose ends. We have white. We've kind of got double color white there. We got our substrate white, and now we got our white string. There's some white on the polka dotted fabric. Now what are we doing? I don't know. Can't find my clue. Oh, where's the clue? I don't know where. Sometimes, you know, I'm pretty good about putting stuff in the same spot, but still, I don't always do it. And I thought, well, let's use fabritac. Fabrifix, Beacon 3-in-1. I do believe they're all the same. Maybe slightly different formulations. I don't know. I've never actually held them up and looked at them side by side. I don't have all of them, you know, anyway. So we're gluing that, and when you're doing this, if you do a pocket, you want to be sure you don't glue your pocket shut, okay, because that kind of defeats the purpose of a pocket. And gonna put some weight on it so we can wait on it. I could have Ellie made it just as easily, but sometimes I don't know. And I'm thinking, okay, I want that dragonfly, but which way do I want it to face? And I don't know if I even put it the way I wanted it to originally face, because it really doesn't matter. It's a sticker. It has a sticker base, and then it's got like loose wings on it. They're not. Oh, they're loose too. Oh, there's that word again. Loose ends. Anyway, I thought, well, let's just put a little of this on there just because, you know, it's a sticker, and I don't know. Sometimes I have adhesion issues. I think I have adhesion issues. I don't necessarily really do. Anyway, trust. It's a trust thing, y'all. So here comes the second one, because we're setting that aside over there to dry somewhere. And this is getting a different border punch. And not all border punches punch just the edge off of a paper. Some of them actually punch out a border strip. Just saying. So anyway, matching it up. Oh yeah, that's cool. There's some little scrappy things. Put them over in my little scrappy thing, but I'm thinking they're going to go, you know, in the recycle. This one I thought I could fold up the end and have not just a sideway pocket, but an end pocket too. But I fouled that up. I'm just going to tell you straight up right now. So this is me thinking about how I'm going, because I want this one to open on the other side. See, our first one opened on the left, and I want this one to open on the right. But it all depends on which side you flip your little doolaller to, because technically it opens on both sides. Anyway, so I'm trimming it up. I'm going to try to be fancy. And just mind you, it's like when I'm carving a stamp. When I go in to do the final little cleanups, that's usually, not always, but that's usually where I'll tend to mess up. So, yeah. So we're trimming this out because I want it to look kind of good, you know, from both sides. I mean, you know, if it goes in and out of a pocket, you could use it for a bookmark. And a real clever person could have stuck a paper clip on here. Okay? But I'm not necessarily real clever like that, but they could be clipped in. Anyway, I'm thinking, yeah, if I fold that up, I can have a pocket. So that's, I'm still thinking I'm going to end up with the pocket fold up. Okay. But as you see, I cut the front piece so that it folds over to the back, and I could have had a back pocket, but that's not what I wanted, because the front is decorated and the back not so much. Okay, just the actual back not decorated. Anyways, I was also thinking, because I haven't done a random commenter for a while, that we might do that. So yeah, that. Surprise. So we're going to glue this on, and we're just putting a little glue on the front. Like I said, mind the gap, people. Mind the gap. Trying to line it up. I want it sort of straightish, and pocketish. And yeah. Now we're going to fold over our little packaging. That looks so cute. We're not getting the extra pocket like I had initially thought. And I hem-hawed around with the idea of sticking that extra piece, on the front anyway. But in the end, I thought, forget it. Sometimes when you're arting, that little extra step, it's just an extra step. And you don't necessarily really want to do it after all. And that's okay. You can be as fancy or not as fancy as you want. Again, strip of fabric. This is a heavier weight fabric. This one, it's actually fairly heavy. It doesn't even want to tear in the little strips because it's that heavy. And the printing that's on there, it doesn't want to tear that good in the little strips. But I got it. I'm like, oh no, you're doing what I want you to do. We're on camera. You better behave yourself. Why do you throw you across the room, get you full of dog hair when it landed on the floor? Just saying. So we got those little pieces trimmed off because they bothered me. And I'm like, yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, I like that. Now what? Now what? Oh, here's this. When you get the fabric, if it's not cut straight on the grain and you do this ripping thing, it will rip on the grain, which will leave you with an odd strip sometimes because it wasn't cut straight. Now, I know if you don't play with a lot of fabric or often, this makes no sense to you, and that's okay. It didn't have to. Anyway, so back behind me, on my pile behind me, I had this bright orange fruit netting bag thingy. And I thought, oh, that's so perfect with this bit of butterfly wing on here with the orange on it. And I thought, well, let's just grab some of that. So I cut it, and as you can see, I'm pulling it because I'm trying to stretch it out, and it's just kind of like coming apart. So how does it even hold the fruit in the bag? I don't know. Oh, and speaking of that fruit was a dream melon. Dream, D-R-E-A-M, melon. I got it at the H-E-B's. They're a Texas store. Any hoots a boots. Lost my train of thought. Any hoots. Sort of like a cantaloupe, but not quite a cantaloupe, but sort of a cantaloupe. Oh, it was so good. It was so good we bought a second one. We went back to the store the next day, a couple days later, and got a second one because, yeah, it was good. Dream fruit. Just saying. So I'm cutting off a little thingy because I want to wrap it around this little bundle up at the top, sort of like a notepad. It's not a notepad, but sort of like that, sort of. And look at all these loose ends we got going on. I'm like, okay, yeah. I want to put that big eyelet on there. Oh, that'll be a whole other story in a minute, y'all. That big eyelet, just wait for it, okay? And I thought, well, I want to reinforce it because it's an eyelet, and I want to just kind of have a little extra oomph in there. So I thought, well, we'll just grab another piece of this dot matrix edge thing, whatever, card, And I thought, well, let's glue these little bits down so they'll stay in place. And my little orange pieces up there. And that's plastic, y'all. It's plastic. And but these pieces seem to be holding together okay. So I thought, well, we'll just use them. All right. So use my little pokey tool to poke it down in the fabritac. I don't know what glue it is. Anyway, fabric something. Beacon fabric something. Smooshing it all up. And I thought, well, I want that on there, but I don't necessarily want it just plain white. Although it would have been fine. So I thought, what color do I have? And I'm like, oh, we got this Uptown right here. So I grabbed it. It's a juicy pad, y'all. Look at that. I mean, it is just like juiced up all over me. So, anyway. I had to go clean myself up after a while. And it stained it pretty good. It's not on there anymore, but it eventually washes off. So we're just going to fold that over, wrap it over. And I'm just going to, I'm going to be the Ellie on this one. Just going to Ellie that one my own self. And we're going to get out our big chomper, big bite, crocodile, whatever you want to call that thing. And we're going to poke a hole in there. Should have let it dry, but I didn't. So that's okay. And then a piece of the, all that stuff gets stuck down in that chomper hole. Now I'm going to force my Brad through there. Brad. Eyelet. Do you hear that teeth sucking thing? See, now I'm going to pull out that little chunk. Okay. Now I'm going to reset that so I can set this here, and it's not smooshing. I'm like, what's going on? It's just not smooshing. And I keep doing this. And this part is hyper speeded because y'all didn't need to see this. I messed with this for probably an hour. No, not an hour. More like 10, 15 minutes. 10 minutes. I don't know, a little while. I thought, oh my gosh. So I just walked it over to my counter over there and bammed it with the hammer. So there we go. It's in there now. And I'm going to glue it on up there. And it started out straight. It didn't end up straight, but that's neither here nor there. It's fine. You can't tell. So if you see it, don't notice it. Okay? And this one, instead of looping it, I thought, well, we'll just tie it, in a square knot, granny knot. I don't know the difference, whatever. I know it's a left over right, right over left over left, and all that kind of loo-loller. Okay? Y'all should see me trying to learn knots so I could teach my Cub Scouts back in the days. You're welcome, son. That was a joke. I have a hard time with the knots and graphs. I had to take a class to learn how to tie some basic knots so I could teach my Cub Scouts how to tie knots. They were pretty good at it though. Anyway, I had a great bunch of kids. It was just boys back in them days. It was just a boys thing. I was a Girl Scout myself, personally speaking. We learned to tie sewing knots. My boys learned how to tie a button on. I taught them how to sew patches and buttons. Anyway, I thought, we're going to get fancy on this one. We're going to put a bunch of diamonds on there. I don't show you the whole thing. I'm getting out one of each, or three of each size, because I thought we're just going to do three, It's going to look like little dots going across there. And then I glued them all on there. You didn't need to see that part. I just glued them on. And I thought, well, let's loosen these cotton threads up on this here string so it'd be more loose. Loose ends. Yeah. Anyway, then I decided I didn't like the diamonds on there, so we just cut it off. You can do that sometimes. I mean, if you don't like it, cover it up, cut it off, throw it away. Well, maybe not throw it away. Yeah. Anyway, Gotta save those treasures. Now I'm going to Ellie Mae it again myself. And I just glued the little loose edges down, so it's still a pocket. And this is where I thought, well, I got pockets. I need to put something in the pockets. So that's when I got out the package and pulled out. I'd already pulled them out. And we're going to ink around them. I think I left some of that video in. Now we're just scrubbing these edges up, actually distressing the edge and inking, because I consider inking, and not distressing, regardless of the name of the ink. Okay, got a sneeze coming on. Hang on. And nothing. I do like the cartoon sneezes sometimes. Nothing. Chew. Sometimes like that. Sometimes not. So I'm just going to kind of scrumble around and inking around, and I've got the ephemera pulled out for this particular pocket cluster. Pocket cluster. Oh, that's a nice name right there. Pocket cluster. I hope y'all remember that by the time we're through the voiceover. Anyway. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. I thought, well, the back of this one's a little too plain, and we're going to put a sticker on it. So I'm like, yeah, that one. I thought they just had like a sticker dot on there. The whole thing is a sticker, so that was kind of cool. Now I'm just burnishing it down. Please note I did not use glue on it. Okay. Now where's the glue. Where's the glue? This is a faux stamp. I'm pretty sure everything that was in that package was 7 Gypsies. I'm not positive because, sometimes when things get less and less and you just start collaborating them together in a Ziploc baggie, brands don't necessarily matter anymore. So I'm like, oh, it's a little naked spot and I need to get something else out. I probably could have used something else already laying on the desk, but no. Mm-hmm. And these pieces of ephemera may or may not have anything to do with each other. It's just a size, a coloration that I was kind of looking at. We're just throwing a little ink here and there. As you can see, it's not a tight pocket. So here's for the other pocket cluster pocket. It's a cluster pocket. Remember that one too, y'all. Cluster pocket. Oh my gosh. And I thought, well, we want to put something on here. Let's put a signature. Got the stamps out. We're going to put a signature on there. Gotta get out the package, which sometimes could be a chore in itself. And I picked a big one. I could have picked a much smaller R1. No, picked the big one. I wanted it. I'm like, it's just going on here. One side or the other, it's going on here. I should have practiced stamped it, but I didn't. So it's not necessarily super dark, but it's perfect. I'm like, yeah. Let's put this one over here. Yeah. Put this one over here. And put that one in here, but I want the bottle side, the spout side up. Let's put a sticker on that. I like this one, so pretty. Will it fit? Yeah, it fit. Does it look okay? Yeah, it looks okay. It's all right. We're just sticking it on there. It has a couple of little kid characters on there. And that is a layered sticker. So it's, yeah. Okay. I'm like, yeah, perfect. Do I like that? Uh-huh. How about that one? Oh, let's put that one in the other one. Then I decided I didn't like that little loose stamp because it seemed, like I said, they're kind of loose pockets. Again with the teeth sucking. I don't know what's up with that. Okay, so let's glue that down because I like it, but I didn't like it loose. Y'all, I don't know. Sometimes I'm special all the time. something special. So here we go, a little flip-floppy. Screen's a little tight in. But, you know, that's just how I roll. Pulling it out so you can see it's a pocket. See, it's a pocket. See, that's the back. That's the front. You can tell because the front's more decorated. That's the front. It's decorated. See how the loose ends? See the white? Just saying. I could have went with more white, but I didn't. So there goes those things. That's the back because it doesn't have any decor on it. Scooch it down into the camera frame now that you actually noticed it. Ta-da! Photo montage. Hashtag 4th Art Saturday. Open collab. Loose ends plus the color white. I know, I could have went with more white, but I didn't. But we definitely nailed that loose ends thing, didn't we? We nailed that one down. Ha! Y'all. Oh. Ingredients in the description and all that kind of good stuff. If I said I appreciated you, would you believe me? Because it's true. And I would like to welcome all my new subscribers and goodbye to those of you who have left. I'm sorry to see you go. YouTube is sorry to see you go. But we still love you. And we do appreciate each and every one of you. Kind comments, likes, shares, subscriptions. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Thanks for watching. And happy artin', y'all. Cluster pocket.